Hello friends, welcome to my channel Game of Trades. Today is Sunday 22nd April 2018 and I will be analyzing Nifty 50 plus some other stocks. Now next week is going to be expiry week. We have 4 days, Monday to Thursday. And given the volatility, it is important that you trade in a very safe way. Now, you can trade for this expiry or you can take mostly intraday calls. So, this is probably what I'm going to do, as I have been doing from last few days, and I have been telling this that I will be keeping all my trades strictly intraday, except in few cases where maybe I short some options where I am going to eat premium. So except for those cases or some stock specific cases, if I'm going to trade, most of my trades will be strictly intraday, because given the volatility, the kind of movement that we are witnessing currently in indexes, in Nifty and Bank Nifty, it is really very difficult to trade and take a positional call. And the reason I had explained earlier is mostly because of gaps. Now, though it has been moving up, this gap, so this has been moving up, but then let's say the gap which was made here, this will bring you in a panic mode. So these are the things that we need to take care now. This reason, if you see, I had drawn this earlier, that given this gap, and this is the reason that I was expecting that this is the level where Nifty 50 will come. This has been a reason of consolidation for a long time, and it was expected. I have explained in my previous videos that I'm expecting that this pullback should come at least to this level. And now we have seen that for last 3 days it is just moving there. Is it a sign of weakness? Is a natural urge, is a natural question that comes to our mind. Currently, don't short it. Though this is something that appears that uh, we have for 3 days facing resistance. Now it is important that you understand that there is a difference between a resistance zone and a reversal zone. There will be resistances while we are moving ahead in our life. There will be some resistances, but not every resistance or every hurdle that we see in our life makes us think that we should take a U-turn. At certain point of time we might face a problem, and it might happen that then we realize this was a mistake, and this is a possible time for a correction, for a corrective move, and then we take a U-turn. But not with every small hurdle we go on changing our decision. There are times that we struggle in that resistance zone and then possibly make a breakout. Now I have a negative bias in Nifty. I have this, and I'm telling this, I have been telling this. I have a negative bias in Nifty, but then it is currently, though it has faced for 3 continuous days uh, resistance, it is not able to go above that. This is trading above this 50% retracement level from this level of correction that we have seen. Now, at this 61% retracement level, which coincides with this gap, it might, if we are able to cross it, then we will see where we are going. Or possibly we will have a gap down from this level, and if that gap down sustains, now this is very important. Currently, let's go into the market without some bias. Now this is the range which I had shown you earlier in voltas, and this is a place where I shorted it. In fact, and this is very similar. Now this sounds contradictory when I say that I am not going to take a short call, though This might happen that on Monday we may open a gap down and then we will decide what we have to do if it sustains. The similar kind of pattern when we saw in Voltas, I had given a short call and that turned out to be very profitable. Let me show you if it is available. Yeah. Here I told you that here for 3, 4, 5 days we are having a top formation. Now this top formation that we were witnessing here, this is a similar kind of range, right? This movement, if you remember, this I have shown you quite few times in my other videos also while analyzing, and this is the top formation. I told that this is the resistance region where it is not able to cross up, and then the next morning if the same thing happens, I am going to take a short call, and that turned out to be very good. We made a good profit here. Next day also we made a good profit, and then I simply left it. Then I stopped trading voltas, because if you trade same script again and again, and normally you get biased, and then possibly this is a reason where you tend to make mistakes. So I stopped it, and then we had this green candle, and then after here I took a short trade, and then at gap down I booked my profit. This is also I told that once we gap down, possibly this is the reason where I will book my profit. I am not going to be very greedy. This is 100-day EMA, that's it. I am going to book my profit. So these three, one and two, second day and the third day I make profit, that's it. And then it has made a bull run. I didn't do anything here. And then currently I am looking for a breakdown, and I had explained voltas. I had given a detailed analysis in my previous video. I think that was a video for last week Thursday, maybe 18th of April. So you might like to go to that video to get a detailed analysis of voltas. So here is a contradiction, guys, right? That here I shorted it, and at the same point when I am in Nifty, I'm saying that we have the same thing, but I'm not shorting it. Had I taken a call on, had I traded this, had I taken a positional or carryover trade on Nifty on Friday, then possibly I would have shorted it and then left it, and possibly at that point of time I would be expecting a gap down, and then I would book it. Since I don't have an open position and I have not shorted it, on next day I will actually like to see, because if you see TCS has given a very good result, and I think this was on Saturday. On Friday it made a very good move. Now all these things, so IT is something that is looking bullish, and we know that bank has maximum weightage on Nifty. Even though IT is bullish, bank has maximum weightage in in Nifty. Now banks currently look weaker to me than Nifty, and I'm a trader who likes to trade on confirmation. So we have this. This is something that you can trade on short side if you want to, but then keep your stop loss very strict. And what I do is I will like to see that from this 50% retracement level where we are hanging on currently, we are not going down. This is the reason why I'm not taking a short trade. We are hanging on this 50% retracement level. This is the 50% retracement level, and this is like support. And if unless if we see that we are going up, then possibly 61% retracement level is the reason where is a place where we would like to book profit. If at all we have to book profit. Now 10,630 is a level, or if we take around, so 10,610 and 10,020 is a level where if at all we are going up, that would be the reason that we might see. Now if we go to the options data, why I am not taking a short call is because this 10,500 people are not fleeing away. They are still hanging on. Now this does not give me a sign that Nifty is getting weaker. From the chart also, I will come to Bank Nifty chart also, where it seems that Bank Nifty is weaker than Nifty. But option data, as well as chart does not tell that Nifty is getting weaker. Now we see this 10,600 guys are flying, though this is a very small amount. Also, this 10,400 guys are going ahead. Now we have 10,200 guys, but these are mostly profit booking. These are not because this is not because it is getting weaker. I mean, this is not because it is going down. This is only because this now this put data, this 10,200 come to has come down to a price of around 2.5 rupees, and possibly these guys have a better idea of positional call where they will be able to get more profit. So they are just booking profit and nothing else. And somebody also asked in WhatsApp group that what does it mean that if it is negative, does it mean that we are going to go down or something like that? Now, if you see a negative data here in options when in change in OI column, it does not necessarily mean that since put writers are going away, it means that it is opening a side for the downside. This is important that you also see the last retail price LTP column where the price is around 2.5 rupees. Now this is for many of those who have written probably in, let's say, 30-40 rupees. This is not too small and the profit will be too decent to book the profit and to invest that profit as well as the capital at writing some other levels of call or put. So this is also an important aspect that we should be seeing. Now if I see 11,000 call, here we have significant writing. This is 34 lakhs, and at 10,600 also we have 34 lakhs. Now 10,700 is a place where we have 50 lakhs. Now 10,500 unless we break, and 10,700, this is the reason where we are mostly hanging around. We will see that we might see expiry at between these two levels of around 10,500 and 10,700 unless something drastically is going to happen next week. Now if we open gap down, things might change, and that's the reason that we should go into our next day at opening of the market with a clear cut at what we have to do when this happens, or if it goes against that, we should be ready for both the cases. Now bank nifty is, if I draw a trend line here, now this is actually trading in a range. Now if you see this too many horizontal lines, this I might have drawn because while seeing the intraday. Let me remove few of them. This is basically a range bound movement that we have seen here, and this is important because this was a gap. This price action just happened to fill the gap, and now we are descending lower, though we are at a support of 20 day EMA. Now this is a range where we have to see that if this is going to sustain. If we go down from here, we will see much lower levels coming in bank nifty, and this will possibly going straight down to the levels that I had discussed earlier of around 22,000 level. But then prior to that, we have to see if this is getting more extended. I had told earlier that this is just a pullback, guys, and the pullback is just a pullback. It's not a rally, it's a short-term rally, short-term correction of this bearish correction. So this was a bearish move, and this is a correction of that correction. This is a pullback, and now we should be seeing, if this is not extended further, then we will see a sharp move might be coming in bank nifty. This is what I am expecting. we will see what will happen in the coming days. Now, if I talk about Nifty, again Nifty, why I'm talking about, because this is a aggregation of so many things. Now, if IT is going to be bullish, and this might mostly come from TCS. If I see Wipro is the reason where I will say that it has reached a place where it might face resistance. One moment, so let me draw on the horizontal line. Now, if you see this horizontal line and this horizontal line, currently, if you see where I am hovering, this is a place where you will see that it has become red in color. Now, this is a consolidation reason for Wipro. We had taken a nice short call here. We made some very good profit. So we had shorted just right here, and we had covered all this, and we made a very good profit here. This red candle was a good profit for us. And then next day I didn't trade, and then I think after that I was on vacation, so I didn't do anything. And then from that level, we are seeing that the pullback has come. Now, if you see this resistance line, this trend line, this is acting as a resistance. It went up, and this is where it has closed. The above trend line, which is a straight line, if you see this line, this is another resistance, and this is the confluence region. Now, if at all we are able to surpass it, probably if you want to most importantly, if Nifty IT is becoming stronger, then probably this is not the right time to short it. Though we see that it has come at the resistance region, we will wait for a confirmation. This is just for you to understand, this is just for you to keep in mind that this is what we are viewing, and if we get a reversal signal on intraday, we will short it. This is something that we keep in mind, and then we trade in that way, that if at all it is showing another weakness at this level. This was the consolidation reason for so long time, and that's why it is important that we keep patience for every trading. I had been seeing Wipro from these levels, but then finally I decided to take a short call here, and I made a very good profit along with me. If you are on my WhatsApp group, I had given the same call, and probably you would also have made the same profit if you have taken that trade. So this is important that we keep patience, that we trade at the right moment. These kind of movements we can catch, but then we have to be careful that a pullback might come, which came here at these levels. Again, we are seeing a consolidation phase. We are at this 50% retracement is yet to be touched. It has not been touched yet, and then we will analyze that what is going to happen if at all we have to go short on that. But be careful, TCS is on fire, which might also take this up. Now, regarding TCS, we have this we had this consolidation phase, and that's very important, guys, that you keep patience. And I had given a buy call on last year, I think in October, for the portfolio, and since that time it is in range bound movement. So October last year means October 2017, and then again I made a video on TCS saying that it is going to make a target of around 3600, and that I made in this year January, so January 2018 we made this video. And then what happened, that it was consolidating. So this was reason where I made, this was the label at I believe this is where I made this, and then it has this wave moved up, and now this is a wave fourth, probably this was the wave 4 if you see of this internal wave count, and this is the next fifth wave which is going to come. Now what is this? This is, or you can see, if you are not familiar with Elliott wave theory, that is also one of the difficult topics in understanding the structure analysis of how this moves. So this is something you can consider as flag. Let me draw it. So this is the flag, and we are expecting that a pole of this is the pole. So a move of at least this much will come. So around 3450 roundabout should at least come. My target has been 3600, but conservatively we will say that around 3500 we will see. Let's not target too much because there will be few days, and I am expecting a sharp move, guys. You know, the kind of move we saw here. A possible sharp move is what we would be seeing. So around 3600 is where even 3600 is a conservative target. So we will see that how far we are able to go. Now Fortis is another where I will be looking for. Now this is typical consolidation happening here, and I will be looking what I was looking for shorting opportunity in Fortis. So this is something that I will keep my eye on. Now Tata is still, this is the hourly chart. So it gave a pullback, and then at 50-day EMA it touched there, and then it's coming down. But then again I will wait for a signal. If this is broken, then only I will take a short trade. Else this is very possible that this might go up as well. Tata Motor is another where I took a short trade and I made a very good profit, but I'm not sure if I gave this on my WhatsApp group because I was in office at that time. So this is a reason where so this was gap down. No, this trade I think I gave on only this trade I gave, and then this trade I traded alone. So this trade on the gap down I shorted it, and then this move I was able to catch. So Tata Steel is another where there is still opportunity to short, and I will see on intraday that what happens. This is taking currently support at 40 in RSI. RSI is taking support at 40. I'll have a look on that. Where are we moving ahead now? ICICI Bank is already given a short signal, so possibly we will watch for our levels and we can short it more. Axis is another. If you see, it has gone down very nicely. It has gone down, and possibly ICICI might follow like that. And ICICI, sorry, Axis Bank, if you see, this green candle had come after the CEO, I think Sikha Khanna or Sikha Sharma. She asked the board of directors that she wants her tenure to be shortened to 3 months. Uh, Previously, I think this was 3 or 5 years for her. Now think about this: if a CEO's tenure is getting shorter, then if we are seeing a pullback of two very good green candles coming, that means how lousy a CEO can be. And this tells the condition of our bank that all these banks have been very corrupt, and these guys just have been eating our money away, and this is the time that at least government should take some action and punish them. Otherwise it's going to be very bad that even government is. So these big guys who are sitting at a very high post, they are simply free to do whatever they want with the public money. This is really bad, and government should place some checks on that, and possibly our government will take certain action. We have to be hopeful, and next year is going to be an election year, and this year is a time for correction in our stock market. We have seen that early we headed higher, we headed much higher at 11,000 plus 11,200, and this was the condition in January, and from the last and from February we are seeing a sharp correction happening in Nifty and some other stocks. So there will be stock specific movements. Be careful in index because Bank Nifty is looking weaker and IT might shoot up. And this is something that is what we are seeing, that if Nifty is going down, then we see that the defensive sectors get active. And when talking of defensive sectors, there is another stock which I was looking at, and that was Work Hard. And Wockhardt Pharma, I had told that at these levels I will start buying, and that too, I'm not talking in terms of buying for portfolio. I'm not looking work hard for as a portfolio stock, but then this is the level, and this I had given, I think, last to last week in my Nifty and stock analysis video, that these are the levels where I will like to buy it. So again, you can buy it for around 20-30 points upwards in Work Pharma. This is something that you can go for and buy. This analysis I had given around 2 weeks back. So that's it, guys. If you have any further queries, you can ask in the comment section. And guys, I see again that there are discussions about making this video in Hindi, and uh, I had told earlier that making videos in two languages is very difficult. I tried mixing the languages. It did work out well. Even those guys who understand English, they told that the continuation gets hampered when I mix the languages. So I'll keep this in English. We'll see that in future what I have to do, but currently this is how it is going to be. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.